Catch your cell phone. Catch your cell phone. Catch your cell phone. Catch your cell phone.
Hi everyone and welcome to KRYPTALK, that Irish guy that talks about Bitcoin. The Bitcoin bull run is not over. Let's find out why. This is episode number 53. The title of this episode is The Bitcoin Bull Run Isn't Over. But before we do that, take a quick look at this. The vast majority of watch time on this channel come from people who are actually not subscribed. So out of all the watch time on the KRYPTALK YouTube channel, only 35.8% comes from people who are actually subscribed. But the vast majority of people who actually watch the channel, that's 64.2%, are not subscribed. So if you're one of those people and you've watched this channel and you've watched a few of these videos, go ahead and click on the like and subscribe. It really helps me grow the channel. Very much appreciated. Alright, let's get the basics out of the way. This is the Kraken chart. These are all daily candles and Bitcoin is trading at 57,651, down from the all-time high. Quick percentage calculation. Remember, all of my all-time highs, or the previous all-time highs, I represent on my charts with the perforated line. So this white perforated line is the current all-time high of around $69,000. So at the bottom of this dip, we went down as far as, it's a 20% drop. Okay, so it's definitely not a massive crash, but in Bitcoin comparison, it's not a massive crash. It's kind of relatively normal for even in a bull market. You go back to the 2017 bull market, 30% corrections, they were commonplace. So that's a 20% correction. So that's at the bottom. Where we are now, down to where we are now at around, like I said, $57,500. That's a 16.5% correction. Right. So what exactly happened? If you look at these yellow lines here, we have what's called a rising wedge. They're typically bearish. They tend to break to the downside, like this one did, more so than break to the upside. So quick price calculation there. So from the top, this point of connection here where we got a rejection, and if we drag that down to the next point of contact on this support line here, which is actually right there. So I'm just going to level this off so we can get the height of that. I add that to the point of the breakout, because obviously broke to the downside, statistically they do. And so then you're looking at this target, this price target down should be around $53,500. I think that can happen. Okay, so if you look at as well, just going to get rid of that for a second. It's going to clean this chart up small, but then I'm going to talk about this at purple box. So just bear that in mind. It's at $53,500. So I'm going to get rid of these lines. I'm going to take a quick look at some indicators. I'm going to go back and talk about that purple box because it is significant. Right. So we are just below the EMA ribbon. Remember, when we're above this, it's bullish and we tend to be an uptrend like we have been doing here for the last few months. And when it's below, it tends to be in a bearish downtrend. Now, let's just take a look at the last time what happened when we broke down September. So we went on a massive run. So we go back to actually July, right back to here. So this is the bottom of that massive like 50% crash that we experienced this year after hitting the previous all-time high of 64,900. So after the Tesla news and the China banning Bitcoin FUD and all that kind of stuff, the bottom of that crash was down around $29,000. It was like over 50%. Since then, went on a massive rally. It was pushed up through the EMA ribbon here. And since then, we kept getting support here, 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 here. We did take a bit of a crash and fall back under it. Kind of fell back under it briefly with this wick in the 7th, on the 7th of September 21. So 7th of December this year. Try to push up through it, reject it again, and down below again. And then eventually on the 1st of October, got through it then. And it's been all upside since then. So, but we're below that now. So that is bearish. Going to go ahead and get rid of that. Going to take a quick look at the RSI. So remember, RSI number between 0 and 100. When we closer are to 100, we're overbought. Correction is due. Closer we are to 0, oversold. So right now we're trading at 40. Okay, so we're kind of it's given the RSI, this relative strength index, a chance to cool off. We're down around 40, and usually, like I rely on the RSI a lot as buying opportunities. So if you look at that, let's go back to where we were on a similar price. So if we just go straight across horizontally, so we're down around the bottom of the RSI here was actually lower than 40. It was about 38. So if we trace right across, that's nearly level here. This one here is around 38.76. That was on, just take a quick look, what day is that? The 28th of September. Now, if you had bought on the 28th of September, all right, so 28 is here. Let's do a price calculation. Let's say you bought on 28th September, all right, and you just bought, let's say you bought like one Bitcoin, would be worth, what was it, $39,000, what was it? About $40,000, okay? and then up to the all-time high, which would be up 71%. You'd have made 28,649. It doesn't matter what. Even if you bought part of a Bitcoin, you'd be up 71%. Even if you were to panic and sell today, you would still make 43%. Okay, so we're going to get rid of that now, and I'm going to go back to the RSI. So that's just one example. So we're trading at 38. I think this is a good buying opportunity. We may fall a little lower, but like if you go back, that's just one example I've shown you. Let's go back again to where it's around 38. So let's say 30, 34. This okay, dropped a bit further there. So 34. If you'd bought there, basically down when it's down to 30s, I think that was the bottom of the dip. What date was that? All right. So if you bought when the RSI was around 34, that's the 20th of July. So I'm going to get rid of this now and just remember the 20th of July. So 20th of July, down around here. 1 second, I'll move this up a bit. Right, so I'm going to move this up so you can see. Right, so let's try that again. So the 20th of July. Right, so if you bought around there and up to the all-time high, that's 131%. Even if you're to sell today, you'd still be in profit at 94%. So my point is the RSI, I think personally it is a good kind of an indicator for when things have bottomed out, when the price of the asset has bottomed out, or when it's good buying opportunities. Right, let's have a look at that purple box I was mentioning earlier on, then I'm going to finish this up. Oh yeah, just worth mentioning as well, we are below the 50-day moving average. And we're well above the 200. I think the worst case scenario is that we come down here and get support off this. Remember, this line here represents from the all-time high, the previous all-time high back in May or April of 64,900, took a rejection off here. This was a resistance line that we broke above on the 5th of October. So I think the worst case scenario is that we come straight down here and we get support off this. I don't think we're going below that. I do think there's more all-time highs left for this calendar year. I do think we'll see another all-time high before the end of the year. But anyway, I think this particular dip, personally, I think the lowest it's going to go is $47,000. I think if that happens, this will act as support. Combine that with this trend line here, this red trend line is the 200 daily moving average. Do I think we're going to go down that far on this dip? Nope, I don't think we do. Then again, Bitcoin tends to do whatever it wants. It tends to sometimes behave a bit irrationally, but I don't think we're going down that far. I think the lowest we're going to go down is this purple box here. We may have bottomed out already, but I think the lowest probably is the target for that yellow rising wedge that I outlined already. So I think the lowest we're going to go down is about $53,500. And the reason I have that coincides with this purple box. So another you always should rely on a few different indicators as well, and a few different kind of patterns and reasoning as well. Like if you look at this here, there's a lot of accumulation between the bottom of this purple box, which is 53,363, and the top of this purple box is about $56,000. So there's a lot of action around here before it broke out. Even like when this was, I don't know what this was. This was a massive wick to the downside here. Even got support down here and was bought straight back up again. That showed good buying pressure, assuming it's not a glitch. So that's pretty much it. I'd say keep an eye on 53,400, 53.5. I don't think we're going below 53. If that does happen, we could be looking down as far as, what did I say? This line was maybe around $47,000, $48,000. I don't think we're going to fall below the 200 daily. Personally, I think what's happening is more or less a repeat of what happened here. We had a rally from July from the bottom of that massive dip, peaked out here, we got rejected from here, and I think we're just going to fall below the EMA ribbon. We might try to break up through the EMA ribbon again, possibly get rejected, and then back up again. Like I said, I do think there's all-time highs left in this year. Yeah, that's it for the charts for today. All right, going to take a quick look at some of the Bitcoin news before I finish this up. So first headline here by RTE News. So this is an Irish, broadcasting station, if you're not from Ireland. So Bitcoin heads for the worst week in 6 months. Had to double check that. So these are all weekly candles. And just measuring it, they're actually right. Yeah, they are right. So from the top of this candle here, right, this is this week's candle, to the bottom, that would be an 11%, we'll say 12%, 11.84. That's a 12% drop. Okay, fair enough, RTE. Now, if we move back, all these candles are smaller, these red candles. So we're just looking at the bearish candles. This one opened here back in May and closed at, that's 25%. Okay, in fairness now. Yes, we are heading for, obviously tomorrow is the end of the week. This is obviously going to be a bearish week. And yeah, it is the worst candle we've seen in 6 months. But like there's a big difference between 12 and 25%. So stop trying to scare us, RT. Okay, so the next thing, Bitcoin ban. These are countries where crypto is restricted or illegal. I'm not going to read it, but I'm just going to click into it and have a look down through some of these countries. A lot of these I would have spoken about already. So I'm not like some of these countries might have banned mining. Some of them might have banned transactions, or both, or one or the other, or something like that. So Algeria, Bolivia, China. Well, we know about China. China basically, you know, it had the monopoly on Bitcoin mining. The majority of Bitcoin mining was done there up until this year. Then, but trading was illegal. But then the government has banned everything. Now it's gone. You can't do anything with Bitcoin in China. So Colombia, Egypt, Indonesia, Iran, India kind of flip flops. 1 week, the government would say no, it's fine, it's legal, and then literally a few weeks later they'll say it's banned. So I've just given up paying attention to these stories. Iraq, Nepal, North Macedonia, Russia. So while crypto isn't outlawed in Russia, there's an ongoing conflict being waged against its uses. Russia are definitely Bitcoin mining. There's absolutely no question about it. Right, so there's a few kind of countries that have banned Bitcoin or some of its uses, or maybe banned mining or whatever. This is just kind of price action news. Now there was another article that I saw that, yeah, I think is on Taproot. The new upgrade, I was supposed to talk about in the last episode, but I didn't. So in order to upgrade how Bitcoin runs, how the Bitcoin network runs, the miners basically have to vote or signal. So the majority of the miners, the Bitcoin miners, obviously these are the people that create new Bitcoins and verify transactions for us. So they're for the users. So they're, you know, without them, it doesn't work. So just the Taproot, the upgrade was, I think it was like last week or the week before. It's the biggest upgrade in about 4 years. So the most significant upgrade since 2017. There was a hard fork in 2017 where basically created Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is not Bitcoin. There's only one Bitcoin, and that is the one that I speak about on the channel. And that is the one that's currently like what, 50 something thousand, nearly $58,000. Bitcoin Cash is just something else. It's another cryptocurrency. It basically results from a hard fork where the blockchain basically split, and the longest original blockchain is the one that's 12 years old, the one that actually is Bitcoin. So it's, anyway, this Taproot upgrade, it's the most significant upgrade to the Bitcoin network in 4 years. What's it do? It essentially makes it easier and faster for the miners to verify transactions. Okay, it also could help scale the number of Bitcoin transactions, so you get more transactions per second, because the Bitcoin network, like, it is slow, but it's more secure. I mean, I would rather, if I was sending money from here to, I don't know, Australia, I would rather wait 5 days and make sure it actually gets there than go for the fast one and then it just doesn't get there. It's the same way of, like, if you're paying for something, maybe you're ordering something online, I would rather wait for a week or 2 weeks for it to get there, if it was guaranteed it's going to get there, than pay for something fast and then it getting lost. But anyway, so the ideal is that it gets there quick. I get that it gets there quick and that, you know, it's intact and all that kind of stuff. But basically this is going to help, it helps scaling. It helps, it actually increases privacy and the number of transactions per second, and makes it faster and easier for the Bitcoin miners to verify transactions. Yeah, that's it for all the news. Okay, folks, that's the end of this episode. If you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you very much. And if you haven't, what are you waiting for? Click that button. It's free and it'll help you stay up to date with the latest Bitcoin price action news. So as usual, sláinte. Bye.